Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about how you can purchase a home with no money down. So as we move into a more normal market, this is giving buyers an opportunity to come to the table with no money down because it is starting to become more of a buyer's market now. So it's giving buyers an advantage. Now, you still will have some expenses that you have to pay for, like your appraisal. You're going to have to put an earnest money deposit down, which is typically around 1% of the purchase price. And then if you want to get a home inspection done, then you'll have to pay for the home inspection also. But you can essentially come to the table with all of your major expenses covered. And your major expenses are typically your down payment and your closing costs. So I'm going to explain a few ways that you can do this. And the first way is by utilizing down payment assistance. So there are a few down payment assistance programs out there. In Maryland specifically, there's the Maryland Mortgage Program. And through the Maryland Mortgage Program, you can get your down payment covered plus more. So the Maryland Mortgage Program offers 3%, 4%, and 5% towards your down payment. So if you are only putting 3% or 3.5% down, then that program is covering your down payment plus a portion of your closing costs, okay? Now, another way to get your down payment covered is by utilizing a VA loan. So if you are a veteran or you're in the military, then you could potentially qualify for a VA loan, which is 100% financing. And then the third way is by utilizing a USDA loan. USDA loans are also 100% financing, and the majority of land in the US qualifies for a VA loan. So if you're looking at purchasing in more rural areas, then you might want to look into that option as well. So now we covered your down payment, right? So let's talk about how you can get your closing costs covered. So moving into a buyer's market, there is less demand on the market right now. So it's becoming more difficult for sellers to sell their homes. When we were in a seller's market in 2020 and in 2021, sellers had a lot of offers coming in. So there was a lot of competition for buyers. Therefore, sellers had a lot of options in terms of which offer they want to choose. So they had leverage and they were able to ask for higher purchase prices, and they didn't have to give the buyers any seller's help. In this market, seller's help is becoming a lot more common because sellers want to sell their home. So what you can do is ask the seller for seller's help to cover all of your closing costs or a portion of your closing costs. So how do you know if the seller is willing to contribute to your closing costs? So the first way that you can tell is if they have no offers. If they have no offers yet, they are more willing to negotiate with you, and your real estate agent will be able to let you know once they have a discussion with the seller's agent whether or not they have any offers on the table. The second way you can tell is if they have reduced their listing price. So if they listed it at a certain price and then gave it some time and they didn't get any traction, then they will more than likely reduce their price a little bit, which means that they want to sell this home, and hence they will also be more willing to negotiate with you. And then the third way is a lot of the times it may be listed in the listing. So they might list in the description that the seller is willing to contribute to closing costs to get the home sold. Now, closing costs range from 3 to 5%. So depending on how much your closing costs are, you'll either get all of them covered or a portion of them covered. If you're utilizing down payment assistance and you're utilizing a 5% down payment assistance program and you're only putting down 3%, then the remainder of the money from the program is going to go towards your closing costs. So you really don't need to ask the seller for too much. Now, You do want to make sure that you're talking to your lender about how much the seller is allowed to contribute, because different programs allow for different maximums when it comes to seller contribution. So conventional is typically around 3% if you're putting less than 10% down, and then FHA you can get up to 6%. So you do want to check with your lender so that you make sure that you're negotiating the best offer.